Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. So get yourself a graph plotter and plot this graph here. And when you do that, it should give you a graph looking something like this. Okay, and play around with this graph plotter. Try changing this to the power of 3, or try adding x y over here, and then just play around with it and see how this graph will change when you slightly change these here. And well, anyway, play around with it. Okay, well, the question here is to differentiate this here. Okay, so press pause and have a go. So differentiate that. So press pause. Okay, so to do this here, you see the hard part is in trying to differentiate this here, because if you look at this here, you've got one bubble, and then you've got another bubble here. Don't forget this bubble here, this y here is a function of x, meaning that you've got x floating around here somewhere. So you've got to use the product rule, because this bubble contains x, this bubble here contains x, and you're trying to find d by dx of this. You're trying to differentiate this whole thing here. So you've got to use the product rule. Okay, so when given this here, hang on, when given this here, visualize this in your mind. You see the hard part is this bit here. These two, this is easy to differentiate, this is easy to differentiate. But when given this, visualize it like this in your mind. This bit here, visualize it as this. So you've got one bubble here multiplying with another bubble here. So because this bubble here contains in effect x, that there is an x, there is some sort of x floating around in here. So because this bubble here contains x, this bubble here also contains x, you've got to use the product rule. So the product rule, remember, is that when given this here, visualize this. Okay, so you've got to use the product rule. So the product rules, you've got to differentiate this. That would be u prime. Leave this the same. Okay, which would be v, and then you've got to add it to leave this the same, which is u, and then you've got to differentiate this v prime. The hard part is in differentiating this whole thing here. This bit is hard because in a way you've got a y in here, and so this purple bubble here contains y, and y is a function of x, meaning that you've got x's floating around inside this purple bubble here. So you've got to differentiate this bubble, so that will be 2 bubble to the power of 1, but we don't bother putting the 1, and then we've got to times it with you trying to differentiate this cos of the purple bubble here. So that will be times minus sine the purple bubble, and then you've got to times, because this purple bubble here, which is y by the way, it contains x somewhere in there, then you've got to times dy by dx here. You see the hard part is in trying to differentiate this bit here. Well, anyway, let's try and do it. So at the moment you've got one thing multiplying another thing here, so you've got to use the product rule. So remember, product rule, differentiate the first one. So we're going to differentiate this. So when you differentiate this, it will give you 2x. And then leave this the same. The product rule is differentiate the first bubble, leave the bubble the same, leave this one the same. Okay, and then plus, and then leave this the same, which is u, and then differentiate the whole thing here. Then differentiate the v. Okay, so when you now looking at this part, so when you differentiate that, that will give you differentiate this bubble here. That will then give you 2x. Leave so this bit here, meaning you leave this the same, so that will give you this being the same. Okay, and now the plus is this plus here, and then you leave the u the same, so you leave this x squared the same, and then you've got to differentiate this. Now this here is the hard part. Okay, so differentiate this will be 2, and then the bubble intact. Okay, hang on. So when you differentiate this bit here, it will give you 2 bubble to the power of 1, but we don't bother putting this. So this 2 here is this bit here, and this bubble stays the same, meaning cos of y stays the same. Okay, and then you've got to differentiate this bit here. So when you differentiate that, that will give you minus sine y. Okay, so that's minus sine y here. And now you've got to differentiate the bubble itself in here, which is just y. Luckily, it's just y. So it's just dy by dx. Because when you differentiate just y, it will when you differentiate y, it will be 1. And then you've got to times it by dy by dx, which is 1 times dy by dx. It's just dx here. Okay, the hard part is this bit here. In the next video, I'm going to give you some more practice on this, on something similar to this. Okay, well anyway, this whole thing here is this thing here. Okay, remember there's a plus in between, so this one here exists in one bubble, this whole thing here exists in another bubble, and they're all multiplying. All these are multiplying with each other, so it will form a block on its own. Okay, so you've got this here, and then you've got to differentiate this. That will give you cos of y, and then dy by dx. Okay, and then when you differentiate the 3, it will give you the 1. Okay, so train yourself to be able to just look at this, but in your mind visualize this bit here for this bit here, because this is a hard bit here, and then from here train yourself to differentiate it and jump to this in one go. Okay, eventually it's hard when you first start out, but eventually you should be able to do it. So anyway, this whole thing here, when you differentiate this, it will give you this. Okay, and then now it's just a matter of tidying up. So hang on, this here exists in one block here, so you can merge all of them together. Okay, so this is one block, that's this one here, and then this one here is this block here, and so on. So just tidy it up, and then what? And then let me think. And then and then get all the dy by dx on one side. You want to later on factorize. You see, your job is to work out dy by dx. So group all the dy's by dx together. Get it on one side. So at the moment you've got minus this block here, and then minus this block here, and then you've got a positive block here. So what we do is in your mind add this whole block to both sides, and then add this block to both sides. Then and then hang on, let me think. Sorry. Oh yeah, and then sorry. I made a mistake here. So this shouldn't be here like this. So yeah. So sorry about that. So at the moment when you're here, you've got this block minus this block, and then minus this block. So what we do is we're going to add this block to both sides. So now notice that the equal sign is here, the equal sign is here. So when you add it, this will move over to here. That's why it's on the other side of the equal sign now. And then add this to both sides. That will give you positive this. Okay, and this one here remains on the left hand side. So from here you will get to here. Okay, next step is to notice that, well, at the moment you've got one block adding another block here. Notice that this is in common, this is in common. Factor out dy by dx. That would then give you this. And then now you've got one thing multiplying with another bubble here. So divide both sides by this bubble here. That will then give you this. So dy by dx equals this thing here. Okay. The hard part is this part here when you've got to differentiate this bit here. Okay. I will give you some more practice on this bit. This bit is the tricky part here. Okay.